welcome to A Meal with Friends. This story takes place in the late 1800s in London, England. Gerald and Reginald enter.
Well, if it isn't the esteemed Reginald Jackson III.
Gerald Farnsworth, you dog. How are you, my dear friend?
They sit at a small table.
Quite well. You've decided to come back to London, have you? Gotten bored of the wide world?
Not at all, my dear friend. In fact, I have a boat to catch in 20 minutes.
Do you? Where are you off now?
Greece this time. Athens. I'm staying there for a couple of days and then I'm headed up to Thessaloniki.
Thessaloniki, what now?
Thessaloniki. It's a port town in northern Greece.
Sounds very, exotic.
I suppose so, though I've been to Greece a couple of times already. It's a beautiful country. But I've been thinking of visiting up north next, maybe Scandinavia.
Indeed. I've heard they have some very strange notions about money in those parts. Something about the rich giving to the poor? Ridiculous.
Strange indeed. But perhaps there is some merit in it. From what I've heard, the people are happier there.
Happier? Where could possibly be happier than right here in London?
So many places, my dear friend. England is hardly the utopia you believe it to be.
Well, I've lived here my whole life, and I hardly see any reason to leave.
Well, of course you wouldn't. You can barely find a reason to leave your house in the mornings.
I have a job!
Oh, yes, of course. That dreadful position at the bank. Frankly, Jerry, I have no idea how you stand it.
You know I hate it when you call me Jerry, Reggie.
Of course, Gerald. I'm dreadfully sorry.
Thank you.
Anyway, as I was saying, Jerry, I don't understand how you can possibly survive that dreadful job of yours.
I quite enjoy it.
Enjoy it? You're cooped up in a small room for 8 hours a day, only break for lunch. How can you possibly enjoy it? Sounds far too similar to school for me.
If you recall, I quite enjoyed school. The only reason I went along with your silly escapades was because you'd have hurt yourself if I wasn't there.
Jerry, I'm touched. It almost sounds as if you care about me. Frankly, I'm surprised you can feel anything in that shut-in heart of yours.
I fail to see what me staying in London has anything to do with my emotions.
It's a very well-known fact. Those who travel more are happier. If you stay in England all the time, you'll never experience the richness life has to offer.
I'm more interested in the richness that my job can offer me. It's a far more practical type of richness. You know, the kind that lets you eat.
Oh, but where's the fun in that? Life becomes so boringly predictable. There's nothing new each day, no excitement.
Believe me, your antics in school gave me enough excitement for my entire lifetime.
Oh, hush, Jerry, those were nothing.
Nothing? What about the time you convinced me to skip school to confess to the latest target of your affection?
Perhaps I made a few ill-considered choices in the past, but...
Ill-considered? It was the worst confession of love I have ever seen in my life!
Perhaps the band was a bit much.
A bit much? Really? You think so?
Even so, it wasn't nearly as bad as that time we tried to climb Botley Hill.
Ah, I remember that. If I hadn't been there, you'd have broken every bone in your body.
So you're always saying, but I'm not convinced. I think I would have been just fine.
It was a 15-foot drop.
Oh, I've done worse than that.
Such as?
I went cliff jumping in Scotland a few years ago. I think we got up to 40-something feet.
Utterly mad. You're really utterly mad, you know that?
Without a doubt! But life is so much more fun that way.
Well, not all of us can afford that lifestyle.
Funny you should mention it. It's actually the reason I'm here today.
Not this again.
Come on, Jerry, think about it.
I can't accept it. Taking money from you just... it wouldn't feel right.
What? I mean, I'm disappointed, but that's not what I was talking about this time.
Really? Then, what are you suggesting?
Reginald pulls out a ticket and puts it on the table.
Tag along with me. It'll be an adventure.
Reggie, you know I can't. There's the bank and my family.
Family? Don't tell me you finally figured out how to interact with a woman.
I was going to invite you to the wedding.
Wedding? When was this? I can't believe I didn't hear about it.
I tried to reach you, but you were off in Zimbabwe or someplace equally remote.
I haven't been to Zimbabwe yet, but I would love to go. Seems like such an interesting place. Well, that's not important. Tell me about this girl. How long has it been? What's her name? How'd you meet her?
Calm down. One question at a time.
Of course. I'm sorry. I'm just excited. It's just such astounding news. First things first. Tell me all about her.
Her name is Elizabeth. She's simply divine. She's as if an angel came down to earth. She's the sun, the moon, and the sky. Aphrodite in the flesh. She's...
All right, I get it. I'm happy for you. I truly am. You being married doesn't change the fact that I have an extra boat ticket.
Are you suggesting I abandon my wife and go trapezing around Africa with you?
I know it sounds bad when you put it like that.
What other way is there to put it?
It'll be an adventure! Chance for you to finally get out of London and explore the wide world.
But frankly, I'm getting a bit tired of this whole explore the wide world thing. I was born in London, I live in London, and I plan to stay in London for the rest of my life. I think it's great for you that you've chosen to travel the wide world, but it's not the life I've chosen for me. I'm quite happy here. Thank you very much.
But you don't know what you're missing! You've never experienced the joy traveling to another country.
And I don't intend to.
Come on! How can you hate something so much you've never even tried it?
Quite easily. In fact, you should try it sometime.
Look, there's no need to get annoyed with me. I'm just trying to be helpful.
Well, maybe I don't want any of your so-called help. Have you ever considered that? Maybe I don't have the finances to support such a trip.
You do.
Yes, of course I do, but that's not the point.
And what is the point?
The point is, I don't want to go, and you can't make me.
I'm sorry, do you need someone to change your nappy because you're acting like a child?
That was uncalled for!
I know, I'm sorry. I just don't understand.
It's quite simple, Reginald. It's called a job and a family. Not that you know anything about that.
I have chosen the life I live.
Sure, just like you chose to get rejected by Bethany Todd in grade 10.
As Shakespeare said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
I'm certain he did not.
Oh, really? I was never very good with literature. The point is, at least I had the guts to ask her.
I was waiting for the right person at the right time, and clearly it worked out.
I suppose I can't argue with the results, though your process was questionable at best.
Patience is a virtue, my friend.
So is proactiveness. Sure, I got rejected a few times.
Most of the time.
Sometimes. But despite that, I've still gotten enough dates to make it worth it.
And how long did those relationships last? A few weeks? You managed to scare them all off.
Well, it was 2 weeks with Mary, 5 with Jill, 1 with Helen, 2 months with Ruth. That was my longest. And then I think 3 hours, 37 minutes, and 19 seconds with Gilligan.
That was the thing with the rat, wasn't it?
Yeah. So about that ticket,
I've already...
Wait. Hear me out. I know that you enjoy London. I know the larger world is unfamiliar. But it is really such a wonderful experience to visit another country and be immersed in its culture and people. It's truly like nothing else. I'll pay for an extra ticket for your wife, if that's what it takes.
I still have my job, Reggie. I can't just leave for a few months without any notice.
Why not?
Why not? I'd get fired, that's why not. My reputation would be ruined and I'd never be able to get another job again.
Jobs are dreadfully overrated anyway.
You've never had a job.
Look at me, I'm doing fantastic.
That's not the point. You've never had to work a day in your life for what you have. You have no concept of the value of money. Not all of us have that luxury. I wake up in the morning and work until late at night in order to support my life and the family I want to have.
Is that really what you want to be doing? It sounds like you hate it.
No, I...
Think about it. Wouldn't it be great to have no responsibilities, no pressure from a job, to live free of that stress?
It would be simply fantastic, but it's just not feasible.
But suppose it was. Picture it, just for a second. You with your wife, relaxing on a beach in Greece, just the two of you, and me, but mostly the two of you. It's a beautiful sunset, perfectly romantic picture. Did you ever have a honeymoon?
No, I suppose we didn't, but...
Then isn't this perfect? It's a bit late, but there's no time like the present. Think of Elizabeth.
I suppose she would enjoy it.
Precisely! I'm sure your boss would understand if you're simply taking a honeymoon. What could be a better place for a honeymoon than Greece? The landscape, the architecture is simply astounding. The culture is so romantic. All the old myths. If your wife really is Aphrodite, she'll feel right at home.
She has been complaining about us not spending enough time together.
So surprise her with a trip, just the two of you.
And you?
You'll barely notice me.
I don't think you could go unnoticed even if you were mute and had no limbs.
Thank you.
That wasn't... Never mind.
So will you come with me?
I don't know. It's a lot.
Elizabeth would really appreciate it.
You're right.
It's just a delayed honeymoon.
It's just a delayed honeymoon.
Yeah!
Elizabeth will love it.
Yeah!
I need a break.
They're important for mental health.
I just need to tell my boss that I'm going on a vacation.
Great, now let's go.
Indeed!
They get up and exit.